Hello there, welcome back. Final part of tonight's show. It's just gone 7:15. The London-based band To Kill a King are set to release their third album ahead of a UK tour, which will end at the Islington Assembly Hall. The Spiritual Dark Age is a follow-up to their 2015 self-titled record. We're going to be speaking to Ralph and James from the group in just a moment. First, here is The Good Old Days from that new record.
Feel it on my lips again to see if it still felt the same. Tell me now how it's possible in a single day seems so beautiful, and you never know them till they're gone. Ooh, the good old days.
There we go, lovely stuff. Well, I'm delighted to say that Ralph and James are with us now. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
The culmination, I think, of 2 or 3 years writing this record, kind of, where do you end up in your mind when you've spent such a long time on one project?
Oh, just different rooms of insanity, I think, really. I mean, we've all been sort of dipping in and out of other stuff, so like writing for some people and doing production things, but this has been sort of like on the back burner for a long time. But I think the difference between doing this one and the last one, where we were writing it on the road, is we've really been able to like just take our absolute time with it and just really analyse every lyric, every little note and that sort of thing, and just make sure it's all right before we release it, and hopefully it is.
I mean, we demoed a lot of songs for it as well, and it's nice now we've got that collection of 12 tracks, and it feels quite cathartic to sort of listen to it now and think, God, that's sort of the culmination of 3 years' work come down to this little...
Yeah, 40 minutes.
40, yeah.
Distilled it into 40 minutes.
Well, yeah, well, that kind of means it's probably fine-tuned. It's like an oiled machine in that respect, isn't it? Because you've probably made something that you really wanted to make, as opposed to having to, like you say, just get it out there and kind of keep up with the pace. Having those, you know, the back-to-back albums, first and second one, and then the tours, you probably felt you needed to sit back a little bit and have a break. You have kind of taken the foot off the pedal slightly.
Yeah, absolutely, and now we're ready to put it back on, I suppose. But yeah, it was nice having that and being in one place for a while as well, because it was like 4.5 years of quite sort of hard graft going around various different countries and that sort of thing. So it was nice, and hopefully that's reflected. We're a little bit more stable in the writing and that sort of thing. So
yeah, well, musically, kind of, how does this new album kind of compare to the previous two?
So we always, I think each one's got its own sort of flavour, so we've messed around with a few different songs and that sort of thing, but I suppose it's hopefully notably the same sort of storytelling that we're sort of known for, so yeah, hopefully it's moved on, but hopefully we won't lose too many things.
I mean, a few tracks would just come from us in the rehearsal studio, and the song would be done in a day. Other ones we'd sort of be sat around a laptop listening to tiny bits and sort of rearranging things, so it's pretty interesting how different tracks are made, but then altogether it sounds pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, the 2015 album kind of came alongside, you know, sellout gigs at the Empire, the Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Yeah.
You know, as a band that's been around for some time, but when you get that sellout moment at a place like that, how does that feel?
Oh, I mean, it was great. It was a real nice sort of rise, because we did like Coco and then Shepherd's Bush, and now, because as you say, we've taken a step back, we've sort of like gone back really small. So last year we did like 3 little intimate shows back to back in London. So we did Oslo, O'Meara and Borderline, and now it's sort of building up to Islington Assembly Hall, which is like not quite the size of Shepherd's Bush, but another bigger one, and we'll just sort of see if we can get back to Shepherd's Bush, I suppose.
Yeah. Does those slightly more intimate venues, though, give fans really what they're looking for? Because in that setting, they're with you, aren't they? They're really up there with you in the presence of it all.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they were 3 amazing shows, and it was really nice to see the people who hadn't forgotten us and were just like back there singing along, and it was a really great moment.
Quite a few people came to all 3 gigs, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, there was one girl who came from Oslo to the venue Oslo, which I thought was quite good.
They're the super fans, aren't they? That you probably know by name, and you can go, oh, hello, yeah, we'll buy you a beer at the bar at the end. What can we expect then from this tour? Because you're off all around the UK before you finish it here in the capital. But you know, a busy time for you coming up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're just so excited. We're also bringing along 2 of our like mates who are in great bands. So we've got Fours and Childcare coming along, so they should be great too. And we'll just be playing our new songs to our fans, I suppose. You know.
Yeah, we've got like loads of new tunes in, but then we've also brought back a couple of songs that we haven't played in years really, and it's quite fun to sort of revisit those while we've been rehearsing, and they're sounding pretty fresh. So
yeah,
look forward to it.
It feels a bit kind of, you know, premature to look forward to the summer. But I imagine with an album, you're probably thinking festivals. Can we expect to see you on that circuit as well?
I'm sure you will be able to, yeah.
It's whether they kind of say yes, and I'm sure they will. Yeah, guys, an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Let's tell you about the album. It is out on the 12th. It is called The Spiritual Dark Age, and you can see To Kill a King at the Islington Assembly Hall after that UK tour on the 27th of January. Guys, thank you so much again for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Right, following it.